I, Dr. Preeti Sharma, Area Chair Finance at IMT Center for Distance Learning, welcome you to this roundtable in the area of finance on the topic Financial Innovations, a Bait or a Boon. Very, very relevant topic in today's time. In recent times, we have seen plethora of financial services and innovations touching our lives. It has changed the way we manage our finances and purchases. What has suddenly become accessible to everybody. The payments are just away, just a click of a button away. So it is changing our lifestyle, habits, everything. But it comes with a caveat. We should invest habitually, spend wisely. The basic principle of finance doesn't change. However, we are just doing the opposite of that. In the times of these financial innovations, the fear is that are we losing the track of financial discipline? Are we indulging too much of impulsive buying? Are we leaving too much of digital footprints and we may be trapped? We will dive deeper into these topics. With our panelists, I welcome my panelists for the day and I would like to introduce them. Mr. Amit Amoli. Mr. Amit Amoli is the banker and he is a business consultant. He has been working into the area of financial services and banking for more than a decade. He is currently working with Sopra banking software and his area of expertise is core banking and lending. He has played a vital role in the digital transformation of many lending banks in India as well as abroad. My another panelist is Mr. Ankit Kumar. Mr. Ankit has been working into the banking and finance industry for more than 12 years. He has worked for many large global US and European banks. And in his current capacity, he monitors the credit risk for corporates and financial institutions across the globe. He is currently working as Assistant Director in Acuity Knowledge Partners and he has previously worked with Moody's. Welcome, Mr. Ankit.
Thank you.
My another panelist who will bring a different perspective to the talk is Dr. Vandna Guliya. Dr. Vandna Guliya is a cyber safety expert, speaker and author. She developed CyberSharp, a very famous program to recognize and understand the digital threats across the education, business, finance, law enforcement, corporations, social media, communication and for other users. So she has raised the cyber safety awareness among more than 12,000 participants in her workshops. So we will be having an enriching discussion with our panelists and we'll be talking about innovations in the BFSI sector, its benefits and challenges. So I once again welcome all my panelists. So Mr. Amit, I would like to ask you that we are living in the times of most revolutionary digital innovations like UPI.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What is the importance of these financial innovations?
So thank you so much, first of all, Dr. Sharma, to invite us here, and I would like to thank IMT CDL as well to give us this opportunity. Regarding your question, I think the world is being driven these days through technology and innovations, and so is the financial sector. So when I say financial innovation, that means one of the greatest example we have the payment methods which are there in place these days, like UPI. Who could have thought a decade back that individuals would be carrying payment wallets in the pocket with the help of mobile phones? So it is making our life so easy. So I think these kind of apps like UPI, we can see Paytm, Google Pay, and these kind of payment methodology, which has transformed. And when I say transform, you can say it has changed the traditional way of cash-based system, which we used to have the cash-based transaction system, and now it is cashless. So I think these are the things which we can see as a kind of transformation, and it is actually changing the world.
Thank you, Mr. Amit, and I am sure that my viewers are agreeing to it. And now we move to our next panelist. Thank you for the great insights, Amit.
Thank you.
And it's making me curious to know what is the size of fintech industry, Mr. Ankit. How these innovations are benefiting the individuals. Can you throw some light on this?
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Sharma, for inviting me for this discussion. First of all, like you said, fintech. So, let me give you some background, Dr. Sharma. India is actually a home to roughly around 7,000 fintech companies. These fintech companies are primarily working into banking infrastructure, payment solutions, lending services, into investment technologies. So if you talk only just for the digital transaction market, India has actually the digital transaction, the actual amount for the digital transaction in last 1 year, let's say for December 2022, it was roughly around 1.5 trillion US dollars. So this is if you compare it from the other countries, if you put together US, UK, Germany, France, if you put all of them together, this is in fact more than that. So that's an incredible number. This is not me saying. This has been talked about by the Union Minister in Government of India and on a platform for World Economic Forum in Davos very recently in January 2023. So that's the digital transaction, the size of the digital transaction which is happening in India. And another very important point is the digital lending. The size of digital lending. Back then in 2012, the size of the digital lending was merely 9 billion US dollar. But now in 2022, the size of the digital lending is gone up to $270 billion. That's a massive increase. And it is expected to reach $1.3 trillion by the end of 2030. So that's the size of the entire digital business. Now, what's important to know is when we say people are going to this thing, what are the benefits of this thing to the individuals? I'm always thinking about this, whether as an individual, you, me, do we need banks or do we need banking services? That's crucial to know for all of us. There are new banks. These new banks are not physical banks. They're online banks. They provide you banking services. They are not physical banks. What's the benefit of this fintech industry is that there is ease of payment. Every one of us know. On a swipe of a button, on a click of a button, on a scan of a QR code, you can easily make payments. From lending perspectives, people don't have to go to the banks for loans. Previously the loan disbursement cycle used to be 15 to 20 days. These days the cycle has been shortened up to 24 to 48 hours. That's it. That's the massive benefits for the individuals. Not just the UPI. If you see when you're traveling on roads, every single car now has a FASTag. That's also part of the financial innovations. You don't have to carry cash, you don't have to carry change. And it has shortened up the times you spend on the toll booths. So I think fintechs are playing a big role in every single individual's life.
I fully agree, Mr. Ankit. It's quite mesmerizing to know this number.
Thank you.
It's a massive number. Great insights. And it seems like a wave engulfing everything into its fold.
Correct.
And for the benefit, definitely for the benefit of the masses. But as we say that every benefit comes with a cost. So I'll move to Dr. Vandna now, and we will try to look at the flip side of all this. Everything can't be so goody-goody. So we can see that all these innovations, FASTag, UPI, mobile wallets. So when there are so many benefits, as a cyber safety expert, I would like to know from you, does it bring some risk on the table as well? What are some of the most common type of risk which may be there, which may be a challenge for the individuals? So can you throw some light on it?
Of course, ma'am. You have thrown upon two very, very important questions here. I'll begin by just giving you a highlight of what kind of threat, cyber threat we are looking at right now. So fintech, UPI, all the technology in the financial sector has opened up a huge and wide range of opportunities for everyone to grow and operate. But like you said, it comes with a price. Now we are looking at a Pandora's box. The world is struggling with the kind of cyber crimes and cyber attacks, and I am talking about financial cyber crimes. It's costing people and organizations huge amount of money. So just to give you a figure here, just to make you understand what kind of scenario we are dealing with here. Every 1 hour, India loses around 200 crores to financial scams, to financial frauds. So I think from the time we have began our lunch till now, it costed India around roughly 250 to 300 crores in financial scams. And when we look at the worldwide figures, this figure is closely 100 crores per minute. So the world is dealing with a lot of attacks right now. At any given point of time, millions of cyber attacks are launched against individuals, against organizations, and we are just waking up to see what big opportunities it is costing us. People are losing their money, right from the individuals to organizations, as I said. Somebody is losing their retirement fund, somebody is losing their lifetime savings, somebody is losing their money for education that they have saved, and organizations have to even shut down in dire cases just because they were not able to cope up with the kind of financial losses that came with cyber attack. So we are living in this world right now where the cyber criminals, in spite of not being technically savvy, are taking full advantage of technical tools to cause financial harm to people all over the world. The next question that you asked me was, what are the most common type of cyber crimes? So the most common type of cyber attacks that we see in our daily lives, and you would relate to it, every individual will relate to it. Probably out of all 4 of us, somebody would have gone through that scam, or maybe in your family, or maybe in your close network. So phishing is most common scam right now. People on the basis of some information that the scammer has, they launch a fraudulent attack against individuals, and they take away a lot of whatever money they have in their wallet or maybe bank account. So phishing is really common. For enterprises, ransomware has become such a huge nightmare. You all would have heard about AIM's attack recently. I am not sure, it is not an official information. The media splashed the news everywhere, and later on they recalled it, that AIMS was asked for roughly 200 crores as a ransom to release their infrastructure. So this ransomware attack not only locked the entire infrastructure of such a prestigious institution of our country, but it did not let the patients, the doctors, and other people to access those services which were critical in nature. So now when we look at the banking and financial sector, like you said, it is the backbone of any country, of any economy. If it crashes, we are doomed. Now we are sitting at a ticking time bomb, and we see these things in news almost every other day. It is just a matter of time that where we are sitting also comes in that list.
Very alarming, Dr. Vandna, but definitely this perspective is very, very important, very, very important. And it's a little fearful also. I'll come back to you again with my questions, because I'm becoming too curious that what to do about it, what more can happen. So in the meantime, I'll shift to Mr. Amit. And Mr. Amit, when I'm coming from the questions which I asked and the data provided by Mr. Ankit on the size of this fintech industry, which was mesmerizing for me. The data was, and it is coming from the horse's mouth, from the ministry itself. So now it is pushing me to ask you that what is the reason, what are the factors which are leading to this growth in the digital banking, in the digital payment area? What is the propelling force? Can you throw some light on
Dr.
that?
Sharma, there are multiple reasons, but to quote some, I think, if we consider the recent times, demonetization in India, it has played a vital role, I think, because after demonetization, there was a sudden boost in the digital payment methodologies, and it actually it actually boosted people to adopt these methodologies, and they are using the digital payment these days. Another example, if I would like to quote the COVID-19 scenarios. In the COVID-19 scenario and the factors of the social distancing, it actually played a vital role that people move towards the digital payment gateways. So I think these are the two important examples which we have seen in recent times. Other than these, I think e-commerce organizations these days, they are also playing a vital role.
Correct.
And digital payment is can be considered as one of the favorite, or it is most favored way of the payment these days. And if I quote the examples of the e-commerce organizations like Flipkart, Amazon's, food delivery apps like Zomato, Swiggy in India. So these are some of the organizations or the e-commerce sector which is actually driving people to opt for these financial innovations.
I fully agree, Mr. Amit. I think it was a blessing in disguise when COVID-19 happened.
Yeah.
And you can say that from these most challenging times, we came out wonderfully, and it became, and I think ease of use also.
Ease of use and other factors like it's ease of use, speed, traceability.
Correct.
And like, you know, if I need to, and also like, you know, if you consider the financial innovations of transferring money, instant payment. So we all use IMPS these days.
Okay.
In case of any emergency, we do not need to wait for the batch cycles to run and to complete the transactions these days. So if I need to transfer some money and if I am in the need of money, so it is just a click away.
Correct.
So and it is available 24/7.
So gone are the days of checks and DDs and waiting for 24 hours. Even not the NEFT, it is the IMPS now.
And gone are the days where you have to actually add the beneficiary first, wait for 24 hours to get it activated, and then you transfer the money and then wait for the batch cycle to complete.
Correct.
Then okay, the transaction will be completed in 4 hours or 5 hours. So I think those days are gone now, and you just need to have the account number in place, IFSC code in place, and you can just transfer the money within few seconds of time.
So I'm sure my viewers are by the time quite indulged into the discussion, and they're finding it quite beneficial for them, and they are fully agree. They are able to reconcile with the view of my panelist. We'll continue with the talk, and I'll come to you, Mr. Ankit, now that this is very interesting, the way Mr. Amit has said that what are the forces which are making a difference and which are forcing us to the digital era. And we talked about individuals, that they are able to make the payments just by click of a button. So does it making a difference to economy? I'm looking at the broader perspective of it. Not only the individual, but is the economy is also getting the benefit of it? Is the financial inclusion can become a reality with this? Can you throw some light on this? What is your take on this?
I think that's very interesting. You see, when we talk about the Indian economy, the impact of the financial innovations, what is actually happening? You know, like Mr. Amit said, you have the power now. You have the tools. Now, what you are exactly doing, you are empowering every single person to make a choice, and you are already giving them the ease of payment, ease of flexibility. So basically, you are empowering every single person. Like for example, when you talk about the digital lending, what we are basically doing, we are empowering every single person, no matter from which state or tier 1 or tier 2 city they come from. You are empowering them to choose from which lender they want to take loan from. You know, eventually, if you see, if a person sitting in a village need to borrow a very small ticket size, let's say 50,000, you know, just a click of a button through digital payment or the fintech app, they can easily lend money. That's a boost to the economy. You know, just because every single person can be reached because of the scalability and the availability of these products. You know, there are so many fintech companies who are working for the small borrowers, small unstructured, informal business. You know, these banks usually hesitate to lend money to the informal sectors because they don't have proper financial statements. You know, these fintech companies are basically working for them. So that's the financial inclusions. You know, when we talk about UPI, what exactly it is person to person or person to merchants. But we are not talking about people or businesses or corporates who are dealing in crores of money. You know, UPI has its own limitation. It can only deal up to 1 lakh per day. But what about people who want to make 5 crores of business payments, let's say cross-border payments? There comes, the fintech companies and the government, they are collaborating these days in such a nice manner that government of India has recently announced, not very recently, maybe like later last year, a central bank digital currency, which is also called CBDC, which is basically the e-form of the physical rupee. So what's happening, they're basically making it ease of payment for, especially for the cross-border payments. So that's the digital currency for us. It is quite different from UPI. It will benefit for the corporates. Now, when you indulge in these kind of innovations, what actually happening is you're taking everyone along. You're talking about financial inclusions. Yeah. So this is the boost to the economy. But there is a very important parameter that we need to see. But RBI actually conducts a financial inclusion index every year. As per the latest data, the financial inclusion stands at 56.4 as of financial year end 2022. This has improved very marginally from 53.9 in year FY21. You see, the improvement is very slow, but of course, like Mr. Amit, you said, after COVID time or after demonetization, the fintech are playing a big role. It has actually fueled the economy, but at the same time, for government, for the fintech, there is a lot of ground to cover. A lot of when you move out of tier 1 or tier 2 cities, there is still a lot of scope for them. So yes, this is something that we should definitely look out of.
I fully agree, Mr. Ankit. It means we are moving ahead slowly but steadily.
Correct.
We are grounded, and it is not only at the individual level. It is making inroads to rural economy as well. We are empowering, and it is the last mile connectivity, I must say,
Correct.
with the fintech, and also at the corporate level.
Correct.
So we are facilitating it through CBDC,
Correct.
which is maybe right now it is at the trial stage, but gradually we are going to launch it at pan-India level.
Correct.
That's what I understand.
Right now it's in the pilot stage, but eventually it will turn a reality.
Yes. I fully agree. And these are really exhilarating time for Indian economy. I think we are ready to take a leap.
Correct.
As an economy. So I come back to you, Dr. Vandna, now, because I became very inquisitive when you talked about the figures of the financial frauds, and when my speakers are sharing that this is a pan-India phenomena. So I think caution is there, which should always be applied. And for that, we should know that how these fraudsters, these cyber crimes or financial cyber crimes specifically, how they take place, how they get the access to our data. Because these are PIN, everybody says that we should keep our PIN confidential. We should not share the data with anybody. And as individuals, we don't. Then how they get the access to it? Can you please throw some light on it?
Absolutely, ma'am. I was listening to my fellow panelists, and yes, you are right. These are great times for Indian economy. The ease of conducting the financial transactions has opened up so much, and I am telling you that it has opened up a lot of things for cyber criminals also. So every service that you mentioned about e-commerce, you mentioned about banking, you mentioned about Zomato, there is a cyber fraud parallelly running to a service that is successfully making people's lives easy. So I can quote, for e-commerce, there is website spoofing. For banking frauds, there are credit card frauds, payment frauds, e-payment frauds. So you must have heard about the Ola payment scam, UPI payment scam, when a person is tricked into paying by sending a QR code or maybe just a message. The person wants to conduct a purchase or maybe pay for a service which is a very nominal amount, but ends up paying a very hefty amount, or maybe the fraudster ends up cleaning the account of the individual. So there is a delivery scam associated with e-commerce, ease of placing the order, and the package on your doorstep comes without you even thinking about it. So what happens is that a delivery person will come to the doorstep of an individual and say, your package has arrived. You may not remember placing an order, or maybe you would think that, okay, this is a common way of life for us, we place orders almost every other day. It can be from Amazon, it can be from Myntra, it can be from, so many other things are there. And the moment you try to receive that package, an OTP is exchanged, and there you go, the fraud happens. So there is a very common fraud called KYC scam. You would know about it because you would have received SMSs. I am sure in the audience also people would have received so many emails and messages saying that your account is going to be frozen, do the KYC. Your Paytm is going to be blocked, do the KYC. I have so many screenshots. I often discuss it in my case studies when I am taking the seminars, and the case studies just don't end. There's a long list of KYC messages, and scammers and fraudsters are evolving in their language, in their effectiveness. Every time they will make you believe, if I don't do this KYC right now, I will lose my banking account, or maybe I will lose the balance in my Paytm, or maybe I will lose the points in my credit card. So there are so many ways scammers get into the lives of people, take information from them, and cause financial damage to them. A very, very common scam is phishing. So you were asking me, how do scammers and fraudsters get our data? So in phishing, some data is already available with them, and the rest they manage to extract from you. How? By causing a scenario which is in a fear-based panic, or maybe a lot of greed. So I am mentioning about website spoofing. There will be the moment you Google HDFC, there will be a lookalike website in front of you, which will be high on SEO ranking because somebody is promoting it by pumping money into it. And it will look exactly like your own bank's website. Now what do? You enter your customer ID and password into it to access your bank account, but you are not accessing your bank account. The scammer is accessing your bank account now. So a lot of times these kind of things happen. And another very important thing is that people, when you register for a service, let's say a delivery app like Big Basket or maybe Domino's, there was a major data theft in Domino's website, and millions of people's details were taken away from them and sold in the dark web market. Now what do scammers do is that when you supply your information at the time of sign up, you give your name, your phone number, your email ID, your home address, and probably some of the people are in the habit of saving the credit card details on the website for the ease of not wanting to put it again. A lot of my friends do that. They register with the credit card details, so they think that next time all I have to do is put my PIN number in it, the CVV number. And this is how scammers get hold of the data of people in order to scam them. It's we who are giving our information to people. People themselves are putting all their information and giving a lot of permissions to apps which don't even require it. So a lot of times you would have seen there is an app called Cleanup. It cleans your cache memory. No phones needs a cleanup app. Phones come with the apps. Android phones have that. iPhones have that. But the moment you download a fraudulent app, you download the malware that comes along with it, and this is how scammers and fraudsters get our details. We need to develop a very data sensitive mindset. Our details are important. We need to understand that.
Very, very informative, really very informative. And I think there are many insights for our viewers that we should avoid the greed. It is the panic which should not take over us, and we should be very cautious with our digital footprints. Whatever comes with a lot of convenience comes with a lot of responsibility also. And we should be very disciplined in the way we spend, in the way we save our password, as you said. I'll come back to you again to learn these caution points. And Dr. Vandna, I would like to move to Mr. Amit Amoli again. And when you talked about so many things, it is making me more curious. And I recently heard about that there is another form of innovation which is called embedded finance. And I was surprised that what is happening in the industry, how easy it is becoming to take credit. So can you share with me what is this embedded finance?
Yeah, so embedded finance is another form of financial innovation these days, and basically it means the inclusion of a financial product into the non-financial organizations. Okay, and so one of the example if I give you, it is buy now pay later, which is very famous these days. So a lot food delivery apps, e-commerce website, they are actually into the buy now pay later business these days. So let's consider Zomato as an example. So Zomato is a food delivery app. It's a non-financial organization.
Yes.
And BNPL, buy now pay later, is a financial methodology to provide the credit. So the credit or the lending products which are being built by the fintech company, so they are actually embedding this into the non-financial organizations. So what it means actually, so you are going to order some food from Zomato, and it's a non-financial organization, as I have mentioned. With the help of this buy now pay later products, which is a lending product or a lending methodology, so they are providing instant credit to the customers. So if somebody do not want to pay the lump sum amount or the entire amount today upfront, then they have options to break that amount into the EMI or equated monthly installment which have. So what exactly, so this one thing is that inclusion of a financial product into non-financial industry, this is one benefit. Another benefit, if you see from the economic point of view, instant credit or instant access to the credit from customers, and it is actually increasing the affordability of a customer. So a person who can actually afford X amount of money, so by the inclusion of these kind of products and with the kind of benefit which these products will give, the affordability has increased from X plus 1 or X plus 100, right? If I talk about the revenue perspective, so if a company is able to sell, or if a company is able to make revenue of X amount of money, then with the help of these, because if the affordability is increasing, obviously the liquidity of the money is there in the market these days. So obviously the revenue would get increased. So I think overall economically also these products or the embedded finance is playing a vital role, and ultimately it's a boost to the economy.
So it is benefiting the individual, they are able to buy, it is increasing their reach, it is also benefiting the companies to increase their profits and sale revenue as well, and it is benefiting the economy as well. So it's threefold benefits.
True.
Perfect, wonderful, wonderful. But I think I would like to ask you, Mr. Ankit, that when we talk about it, we buy now, pay later, benefiting everybody. But when Mr. Amit was telling me that the companies give the credit. So I don't think in these products some credit analysis is being done. It is so instant. So how does it happen? I'm really curious to know that whether these products will give a boost to our economy. I'm sure it is yes, but I would like to know your viewpoint on this. But can it also lead to some bad debts?
Yes. See, first of all, I'm a big supporter of fintechs. You know, these products, all these new products that fintechs are launching, they will definitely boost the economy. But you need to understand. See, when we talk about scalability, availability, affordability, so these are the methods government or the fintechs they adopt in order to boost the financial inclusions. Okay, so these support the small businesses, like I talked earlier. It supports the small businesses, the SMEs, the micro small SMEs. Okay, so how you're supporting them? You're providing them liquidity. You're providing them instant loans, you know, to run their businesses. Like I said, you know, if there is a small informal structure of business or unstructured businesses, their requirements are very small. They don't need crores of money to run their working capital. You know, they need money like 50,000 or 20,000, 30,000. You know, for these small amounts, they can't go to the banks. They goes to the fintechs. You know, so that's how you boost their liquidity. You provide them credit, and eventually, when they are generating revenues, they are leading to boost to the economy. So, in a way, this whole thing is benefit them. But at the end of the day, see what fintech or digital payments are doing. They are removing the cash from the market. In a way, they are removing the black money. You know, they are removing the black money. The GST is already there. So eventually, when you are making all the digital payments, everything is going directly into the bank. And when everything goes to the bank, you are paying taxes, and then that's how you are contributing to the economy as a whole. But you know, what's the downside of this whole thing is, when you are supporting this unstructured or informal sector, most of these lendings are uncollateralized.
Okay.
So when you are lending to uncollateralized sector, what happens is there is more chances of getting into a debt trap, or you can say a bad debt to the companies, or a non-performing loans for the banks. So it's not all glitter everywhere. Obviously, there is more returns for the company, but there is more risk also involved. It's boosting to the economy, but at the same time, you need to manage the risk. There should be a proper stringent measures to govern this risk. It's not all glitter and glamour everywhere.
I fully agree, and you brought a very important point that this is the cash which is moving out of the system. It is the digital money which is accounted for.
Correct.
So in a way we are moving away from the black money trap.
Correct.
So everything is coming into the mainstream, and
Correct.
the small organizations which were taking the money, which were not able to take the money from the banks, so they are also able to avail the credit. So that is the boost. But I fully agree that it comes with a responsibility, and we should also be very cautious that while we are lending, it should not result into a debt trap for the individual who is taking it, and for the company it should not become a bad debt. So
correct.
Yes,
so Dr. Sharma, why is it so crucial? For these small companies who are lending, the fintech companies who are lending, you must have read in the news. There is so much of global headwinds coming from the West.
Correct.
Because of the banking crisis, which is in US, UK, or for say Europe. Tough times creates a good entrepreneur, a good corporates. Now this is the tough time. This is the time when strong emerging fintechs will only survive. Because of the high interest rates, there is recession in the West, a mild recession for so-called. But inflation is already there. In India, you're already facing the inflation. So I think this is crucial to see that we are not lending without any proper governance.
correct.
And I also think, like you have mentioned, that a tough time, and I truly believe that challenges are nothing but opportunities for innovations always.
Correct.
But I agree to Dr. Sharma's and your point that there needs to be stringent governance so that the bad debts and the credit trap can be avoided.
Correct.
But yes, but there are opportunities for the innovations and.
Yes, but we have seen, as Mr. Ankit said, that right now we can see the headwinds coming from the West.
Yes.
And it is not first time. It is every 10 years we can see a cycle of scams taking place.
True.
Isn't it? So it is every 2008 and then now, so it is a frequent thing. It is like a cycle. So what should we do, Dr. Vandna? What is
Okay.
what is the way forward?
I can tell you how to protect yourself. I mean,
Yes.
individually.
Yes.
Right now, I mean, in this question, let's focus on making each and every individual who is watching this,
Yes.
you.
Yes, very much important.
So we
Please.
definitely can't go back to the Stone Age. We can't deal in gold coins and silver coins, and we can't go
Correct.
back to banknotes. That we have moved far ahead from that place. So there is no way but to live with this. Now this is the reality. Digital banking, digital economy, the banking online and everything else, credit cards, it's here to stay.
Correct.
So when you were talking about that, how easy it is for people to take loan, it fuels certain risk taking capacity in people.
Correct.
Now because I am here as a devil's advocate,
Yes.
I am going to tell you how scammers take advantage of it, and everybody who's watching this, how you can stay out of that trap. So recently a report came to me for investigation. There's a scam new in the market, as you call it. It's called movie review scam. So people are asked to start a small business, and for that small business you have to invest only 11,000 rupees, not much. Begin with 1100, then go graduate up to 11,000. So it's such a small amount. For such small loans, people don't have to struggle as much. So what they do is they procure these loans and they fuel into this so-called business, which does not exist. Scammers take advantage of it. The case of a boy who came to me, not a boy, young man. Now he wanted to make his parents proud, start a business, stand on his feet. He took a loan off for the money which he couldn't pay off, he didn't have. His family could not afford it. He is under 18 lakhs debt now because of that scam. You will find in news, there is an old couple from Ahmedabad. They lost close to 1 crore to this scam, the same scam. It's called movie review or maybe YouTube review. The business is that you can make a lot of money staying at home. There is no such thing, but still people fall in that trap. So difficult times, like you said, brings about a lot of challenges to people. People struggle and strive to get out of those challenges. And whenever they see an opportunity, it's natural in them to take that opportunity. It's not greed, I would not call it greed. It's just a way to survive. For a lot of people, they want to survive this. COVID has given a lot of insecurity to people, financial difficulties, and so many other things. So on one hand, people are struggling to make the ends meet. They want to break away from the cycle of the insecurity of losing a job, or maybe running down financial times. But on the other hand, they fall in the traps of fraudulent schemes like this, and they end up losing their money. So you asked me, how can we keep ourselves safe? So important thing is, keep up to date about what kind of scams are floating in the market. Keep up to date, attending sessions of cyber safety probably will open up a lot of case studies. We bring about the things that are happening, which the police department is dealing with. When they receive a lot of complaints, they want the public to be familiar with it, so that even police department is struggling, government is struggling with the kind of the large number of scams that people are facing right now. So very small list of things which we all should keep in our minds. Keep your data close to your heart and guard it with your life. Do not celebrate your birthdays on Facebook.
Correct.
It feels so wonderful when on the day of your birthday, Facebook is filled with those 200 messages when your friends or family wishing you happy birthday. Now how do they come to know it's your birthday? It is a public information. That's
Correct.
how. So keep those kind of informations with you. You used a word called digital footprint. People really don't think much about what kind of insignificant information they're leaving behind, like a trail of breadcrumbs. Scammers and fraudulent people pick up on those breadcrumbs, tiny dots. They combine and create a larger picture of your life. And then they go about finishing the last end of that detail, they furnish it, and that is how people lose money. Never access or sign up for a e-commerce website or maybe Zomato or Domino's with your banking email ID. Create a disposable email ID. It's free. Create a disposable Gmail ID and use that for sign up. Do not keep your banking ID available, Gmail ID available for accessing or signing up. Guard your password with life. I am not sure how many times people have been saying this, password is important, password is... Now, what people have done, scammers have done is, over the period of years, they have created fake websites everywhere, encouraged people to sign up, and then now they have a repository of passwords. Every password you think is safe, a dictionary password, is not safe anymore. There is a website called passwordmonster.com. If you put a lookalike password of your password in it, it will tell you how many seconds it will take for a scammer to break that password. So normally people keep very simple passwords, simple dictionary words. Go on that website, see what your idea of password is, write on it, run a security check. Chances are it will tell you have a very weak password which can be hacked in seconds. So whenever you find that there is a data breach, kill your password. By kill, I mean that if your password is Ajanta Alora, then don't keep the new password as @AjantaAlora1. Just change everything. Write orange tiger monster or something like that. So completely change the, whatever your password was, completely have a new password. And we should keep doing this very frequently. Be aware that whatever emails you receive, whatever SMS you receive, have a mind which is skeptical all the times.
Correct.
Whenever you receive a notice from income tax department, just look at it carefully. Look at the sender's email ID. You will find that the message that you have received from HDFC, ICICI or maybe Paytm is not sent by them. So looking at the sender's email ID is very important. And we all say don't click on the link, but how to make sure which link is safe and which is not. So there are various tools now which you can use. One tool is very good, it's my favorite. It's called virustotal.com. उस पे जाके आप अपने लिंक को कॉपी करके उस पे रन कर सकते हो. It will tell you if that is a malicious link, if that is a malware, or it is safe. If it is not, it will give you a big red warning, don't click on this. If it's safe, it will stay green. So we must do that. There is another very famous, very good tool called urscan.io. Use that to scan your URLs. So these are the things. I have a whole list of things. I can keep going on for next half an hour to tell you what are the things you must do. But I mean, these are the few things. Let's begin from here at least.
Very, very informative, Dr. Vandna. Very, very informative.
I think this is very, very informative because I'm going to go home and check my password whether they are being
Please do that.
I was saying the same thing. I think.
I can give you a live demo of. I would have loved to, but I don't have access to it because we are in panel discussion. I think you can do that.
And my viewers, this recording will be available again, so you can go through the list, caution points which have been mentioned by Dr.
And reach out to me if you like. I'm available, and if you want, then I can give you a list of tools which you can later on extend to your students and viewers. Everyone should be cautious, you know. Right now, let's support every person who is using any kind of financial service because we are all out there. We all are in this together.
Yes, yes, very informative. Thank you so much, but we'll continue with this. I'll come back to you once again. And the crux is prevention is better than cure.
Goes without saying, always.
So now, Mr. Amit, we move with our discussion and we look at the positive side also, because it should not become so scary that, as Dr. Vandna said, that we should not go back to Stone Age. So we should know both the sides and then be cautious and move the road. It is not that we will step back. We are definitely not going to step back. Therefore, we should be motivated by the positive side of the technology as well. So I would like to ask you that what difference it is making to our society at large.
So Dr. Sharma, as when I started the discussion, I think the first point I was quoting that the world is driven by technology and innovation. So obviously, if the innovation is there, then it will have impact, the positive impact on the society.
Yes.
So I would like to start this point from the technology, like if we consider blockchain. So these days, so I'll just have a very brief point on the blockchain. So it is like the concept is you are storing a data in forms of blocks into different computers or different databases. Okay, and what difference actually it is creating in the financial sector or in the society. So as Dr. Guliya was mentioning about the fraud scams and all. So if your financial data or any information about you is stored in different blocks or different computers, so to hack or to steal or to steal your data, all sequential or relevant blocks needs to be hacked.
Correct.
It is not about that you have all your data stored at a single place. So if somebody is going to create some kind of spam or hackers is trying to fetch your details, so that sequential hacking is required. First point. So if you are securing your data and securing your databases with lot of if you're guarding the data, so it's not that easy for a single spammer or single hacker to steal your data very easily. So it is one of the difference I think which technology is making these days. Again, the financial product that we are using, the payment methods which we have discussed, UPI and other payment methods, I think it has obviously changed, which I was quoting that the cash-based transaction that we were doing, I think it is eliminating at a very faster growth, and which I see, I think the digital payments, cashless payment, I think in next couple of years and the next decade, I think that cash-based transactions would be eliminated from the country and globally, I think from the world. The ease of payment, receiving as well as paying the money. So if I need to pay the amount or I need to receive the amount, these financial products are actually playing a vital role in that. 24/7 money transfers, which we have discussed recently. So I think that is also playing a very vital role, and all these things are actually making difference in the society. So in case of any emergency, you are just okay. So if there is any emergency, people are running towards the hospitals. In older days, if I speak, there used to be, okay, we need to arrange this much of cash, we need to deposit the cash, then only any financial aid will be provided. I think that concept has gone now. If you have that affordability in form of anything, you can, there can be some app, there can be credit card, there are other financial supports which are available to a person. So these type of things are making difference, and you do not need to run to arrange the financials to get the medical facilities or to get the medical aid. And it is relevant to everything now, not only the medical. If you are considering any kind of, you are going with your family for any food or any kind of recreation activities, if you are just going to have any kind of beneficial things, you want to buy something. So I think these kind of products are helping. If immediate finance we have touched upon few minutes back, that BNPL, buy now pay later, what exactly it is making? It is actually increasing the affordability. Increasing the affordability is actually increasing the revenue. Increasing the revenue is actually eliminating the concept of black money. The tax, direct tax. So if it is a cash-based transaction, there are high chances that in older days we have seen that there were no receipts being provided by the vendors to the customers. But now those days are gone. If you are paying from a digital method, then obviously it is going to hit the bank account, and if it is hitting the bank account, that needs to be, and that is being captured as the revenue, as the money received by the vendor. Taxes are involved, so you are just paying the GST and taxes are. So I think the revenue leakage is also getting eliminated, and overall, if we see, then there is a huge difference in the revenue leakages, in the tax leakages which were there in past. I think in last 2 to 3 years, if we will see, then it has made a significant difference in the society.
I fully agree, and I rather heard also, and I agree with this, that blockchain is the next internet.
Yes.
And many problems which we talk about the digital finance can be addressed through it.
Yes.
Definitely. So, and when we say parallel economy of cash will not be there, maybe it may be a dream, but we are coming closer to it. Closer to it. And when the leakages are stopped, the system become more strong.
True.
So I fully agree that it is impacting the economy, it is impacting the government tax collection, it is impacting the society as large. And during the COVID-19, it is only the contactless payment which provided us big support. And otherwise, the long queues in the bank.
Yes, long queues of the bank, and now all long queues in the bank and the cash withdrawal facilities which used to be there. People used to stand in queues to withdraw the cash, and then there used to be another queue to have the passbook entries.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So this has become an old age now.
So I can say it is a boon.
It's a boon.
It's a boon.
So hardly someone goes for the passbook entries these days. You have statements available.
Yes.
So you have access to the internet banking. You have everything. So these products are actually making the difference.
So now I will ask Mr. Ankit, actually a different perspective is required. When everything is so accessible, we are able to make payments, Zomato, food delivery, as Dr. Vandna mentioned, Amazon, all these e-commerce apps are there. Many a times we may indulge into impulsive buying. What should we do? How should we make sure that financial discipline is maintained? What is the way forward?
Well, I think this is very interesting, Dr. Sharma. When we talk about these large companies, Amazon, these kind of companies, these are global companies. And for example, Grofers, for say, these are domestic companies, but there's a huge competition, going among these companies in itself. Every single company wants to capture the market. And how they want to capture the market, that they're running so many market strategies on retailers and for individuals. They're getting so many lucrative offers. They keep running for example, like let's say Myntra, they keep running their season end sales, or for example Flipkart, they keep running the big billion sales. These are marketing gimmicks. They just want the people to keep indulge in their phones and just keep scrolling these apps to buy more. Whenever you use Google Pay, you get a cash reward or you get a reward. Let's say that, for example, if you swipe something, you get a reward, you scratch it, and you found that there's a coupon for Lenskart. And just to redeem that coupon, you end up buying something from Lenskart, even though you don't need it. But this coupon was about to expire in next 60 days, you had to use it. No, but what's the use of buying it? You don't need a new specs. So, people need to a form of finance disease.
I think AI is also playing a role.
Exactly.
This AI is.
Yes,
And buy now, pay later. That doesn't help.
Correct. These algorithms for the social media. If you Google something for a product, for a cloth, the algorithms are designed in such a manner that it will keep showing on your Google feed. So let's say on your Instagram feed, everything is so much connected. Let's say you search for something and it keeps up showing for let's say for a week, and what happens, even though you don't need it, but just because you end up seeing it again and again, you end up buying it.
Yes.
So what should we do?
So it's important to maintain a financial discipline. What I used to do for myself, I can give you an example for myself. So I make a monthly budget and I try to stick with it.
Yes.
That's very important. You keep a shopping budget for every single thing. So let's say for groceries, for your clothing, whatever needs. Keep a monthly budget and stick to it. Have a shopping plan in mind. Stick to it. I would say stop comparing with others. Don't compare like you're going to colleges. Students are going to colleges. Stop comparing with other students that they have bought iPhone 14 or iPhone 14 Pro. If you have iPhone 11, it's working fine, and you don't need don't need an upgrade. I think just stick to it. Or unless and until you're a very rich kid, so that's up to you if you can afford it. But I think typically you should stop comparing with others. And like I said, social media is something which is driving these forces. The algorithms, like I said, is designed in such a way that you end up buying it. So I would say keep the social media to a limited space only. Do not get it influence your own personality. And last but not the least, I think prepare your own financial goals. Don't end up overspending on shopping or let's say groceries. Keep a financial goal for long term. What exactly you're earning for? That's your hard-earned money. Don't end up giving your hard-earned money into these cyber crimes. And prepare yourself for your goals for 5 years, 10 years down the line. What exactly you want to achieve with that money? So I think this kind of financial discipline can somehow guide the generation towards how they can manage their.
Can I suggest a cyber safety hack?
I'll come to you, Dr.
Yes.
Vandna, but I really appreciate and sensitizing my viewers towards financial discipline. Very, very important. We should be master of our own shopping. We should not be the slave of these social media sites.
Correct.
Isn't it? And the way it is important to save yourself from the COVID-19 virus, it is also important to save yourself from the social media virus. So that's very much important. So, Dr. Vandna,
Can I extend on this?
Yeah, please
Okay.
do. Please.
So it's very good not to use a search engine which gathers a lot of information about you and uses it against you. Like Facebook does that, Google does that, Microsoft does that. So try and use new tools are available in the market which does not keep your there are more than 630 tracking softwares that are playing in the background to look at everything that you are doing on your screen कि आप किस वेबसाइट पर हो, कितनी देर के लिए हो, क्या क्या देखा आपने, क्या क्या बात के लिए डाला, तो वो आपको ट्रैक करते हैं. उसको हटाने के लिए एक बहुत अच्छी वेबसाइट है ब्रेव, आप उसको यूज कर सकते हो डाउनलोड करके. DuckDuckGo is another search engine which does not store any information about you, so that will not let those websites to save information about you and use it against you. Another thing is switching off the notifications. It is manually, it can be done in your mobile as well as in your desktop. A very important another thing is that our mobiles, our desktops are equipped with digital timers.
Okay.
So you can go to my mobile, almost all Android mobiles and iPhone mobiles now are equipped with digital well-being. So you can go there and see कि आपने किस ऐप के लिए कितना टाइम रखा हुआ है, आप उसको फिट कर सकते हो, उसके अंदर फिक्स कर सकते हो. फॉर एग्जांपल मेरे पास मिंत्रा है और मैं कभी कभी उसको सर्च करते करते आधा घंटा पौना घंटा निकाल देती हूँ, तो मैंने उस पर टाइमर लगाया हुआ है 10 मिनट्स का. आफ्टर 10 मिनट्स इट स्विचेस
It will give a buzz or
no it just goes blank.
Oh,
Your time is up. And I have a timer for Instagram. It is so addictive. You go on reels and you go on scrolling through it. So after 10 minutes it dies. It doesn't let you access. So you can have that.
So you are diluting their power. Their power is to mess,
Yes.
to keep you engaged and.
Good that you said that. I think they have a power. Every app now, every website hires a team of psychologists to hack into the system of all of us to make us more addictive towards their products. It is now our job to be aware and to protect ourselves.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And also
So-
these, I think just in continuation of my fellow panelist points, I think these days every browser, if you are accessing your laptop with the browser like Google Chrome, Edge, you are accessing any kind of website through your mobile phones, you have option of in private browsing and the incognito mode.
Correct.
Being the technical expert, I can say that these browsers in these modes, in private browsing or the incognito mode, they do not save your browsing history
Correct.
and all cache memories. So for an example, you must have seen a lot of time you are just filling up a form. So as soon as you type your name, the first letter of your name, every information comes up.
Yes.
Autofills.
Right?
Yes.
So it's a cache memory which is actually being stored within your browser. So whenever you are doing any kind of transactions or financial transaction, any important work, just try if you can just use the in private browsing. Two things. First of all, your information would not be stored in these browsers as cache memory. Secondly, at the worst case, if you lose your device, okay, and if in case of any theft, and if it is in someone else's hand, so the chances of getting your accurate information would be less. So I think it is one of the measures people can take.
Very, very interesting, and I think this discussion can continue and go on and on, but it is the time that we should I should say thank you to my panelists, and here we come to an end of the discussion. I express my gratitude for the participation in the panel discussion on the topic financial innovations, a bait or a boon. Definitely they are boon, but we should be cautious. And my panelists have given lot of insights. I thank you for the insights and the expertise provided by you, which is invaluable. I'm sure that my viewers have got the benefit of it. This recording will definitely be available for the viewers, and you can refer to it whenever you need. I'm sure that you are going to refer it multiple times. So the discussion was engaging, informative, and very thought-provoking also. And it was evident that you have put in lot of effort to bring new perspective, great insights for our viewers. I appreciate the effort of each one of you. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much. We
Thank
look
you.
forward
Thank you.
for the future discussions as well.
Definitely.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Discussion.
Vandna. Thank you, Mr. Amit. Thank you, Mr. Ankit, for the great insights.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.